All right, so we knew going into 2025 that Nike and Jordan, they were not gonna hold back. We saw all the leaks last year, and there's definitely a lot of excitement because of all the releases that we've seen so far and the ones that are gonna come in 2025. In this video, I'm gonna review two of my recent Jordan pickups. One I actually got for free through my Soul Savvy membership, which I guess you can argue is not truly free, but it was a raffle and they chose me and I won this free pair, which I was really excited because overall, this is a classic Retro 1 colorway. I know that it doesn't have the Jordan wings and that's a bummer, but we'll get into the details here in a second. But the star of the video is these Retro 4 in collaboration with Nigel Sylvester, guys. These might arguably be sneaker of the year. That's how good these are. And I know this is a mostly red sneaker, and I've probably said this before that I'm not a huge fan of mostly red sneakers because they're so loud and sometimes a little bit hard to rock. But there's something about this colorway that is just beautiful, man, because it's not like a bright red color. I mean, it just looks amazing. We'll get into the details here in a second, but I just wanted to highlight how beautiful this pair is and how great it is. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the Retro ones first here. These guys, I mean, I know a lot of people were upset that they decided to, you know, slap the Air Jordan on the side here instead of the Jordan wings. These are a reimagined version. They were trying to pay homage to the original pair that released back in the 84-85 season, I believe. And they decided to go with the Air Jordan. That's how these originally came out, which is cool, but it's just something about the Air Jordan here that it just doesn't feel right. It almost looks like a knockoff version of the Retro 1. But if you put that aside, you know, you wear pants over that part of the shoe, you're gonna have a classic black toe colorway that we all love. It's one of the best Retro 1 colorways to ever release. Again, they still look really, really good. In my opinion, the upper is pretty much similar to any other Retro 1. You know, maybe Nike may come out and say it's premium leather or whatever, but to me, they feel pretty much like any other Retro 1. The midsole does have an off-white color to it just to give it more of a vintage look, but these overall, I think that they should have done more to the vintage aesthetic look to it. They should have matched the Chicago reimagined version of that, because that one, the leather on that one looks a little bit more cracked, a little bit more aged. These look smooth, like, you know, like they're brand new, obviously from 2025, right? So I wish they would have given it that detail just to make it look a little bit more special. Of course, these come with a very awesome box. That I do give Nike props for doing that. The box does have a picture of Jordan, an original picture of him having these black toes over his shoulders. That box, the unboxing, the tissue paper, all that stuff was awesome. So I definitely give him credit for that. But sometimes you don't want the box to be better than the shoe itself. I'm not saying that the box is, because again, this is a classic colorway, but again, that Air Jordan on the side really does, it just takes away from how awesome this colorway is. It's like, for example, if they would have released a pair of Retro 4 breads with the Jumpman logo on the back instead of the Nike Air. That's how this feels. I wish they would have just kept the Air Jordan wings on the side, but hey, it is what it is. These do come with an extra pair of red laces, so if you want to do that, in my opinion, these all black laces look the best. Also on the left shoe, you will find a message signed by Jordan where it says "my very best" and then signed by Michael Jordan. So it's a nice little detail there, something unique to this pair. But again, guys, colorway is a classic. Colorway is great. Of course, I would have wished that it had the Jumpman wings on the side, but it is what it is. Again, these are a free pair for me, so hey, I'll take it. I'm not mad at it. All right, so jumping into these Air Jordan 4s in collaboration with Nigel Sylvester. This is not the first time that Nigel and Nike and Jordan work together. They definitely already have other collaborations that they worked in the past, but I think right now or so far, these are the best ones. I mean, that's how good these are, and I can't wait to see what else is in the future between this partnership, because Nigel might be the hottest collaborator for Nike and Jordan right now. I mean, that's how good and that's how much hype he's built for the brand. He's also doing a good job taking it to the streets, taking it to the community, pushing, you know, the sneaker out there, and I think that's what works. That's what creates an organic relationship between fans and the brand. That's how you're supposed to do it, and that's how they're doing it. The unboxing of this collaboration actually matches the shoe because the box does have a cool little texture that makes it feel like it's a brick. You do have the Bike Air on top there, so nice little detail. When you open the box, the shoe's gonna come heavily wrapped in a bag, and also gonna have this blue strap. I guess when you buy bricks, they come like that. Overall, once you get the shoe out, once you get the shoe in hand, and first of all, the smell on these smells really, really good. Of course, when you get a pair of fresh Jordans, that's the best part, when you take a good sniff, and these definitely have that. As far as the colorway, as you can see here, it's kind of like a red orange colorway, so it's not like a bright red. It's not like a Chicago red color, right? These definitely have a different shade, so again, it's gonna, you know, resemble a pair of bricks, so that is very cool. But the best part is the materials on these sneakers. The new nubuck that they use here, very nice and soft, nice backstroke on this nubuck. A lot of times, I've criticized Nike and Jordans especially because, they do cheap out with the materials, but they definitely didn't do that here. I mean, these are collabs, so you expect that, the materials are gonna be more premium, and they definitely did that here because this nubuck actually feels very nice, and it just gives the shoe that premium look, that premium feel that you expect when you have a collaboration, right? So another cool detail is that the mudguard here also has that feel of a brick. On the lateral side, you do have a small Nike swoosh. I actually love that little detail, and it's obviously becoming a thing with Nigel from going back to the retro one that he released a few years ago with Jordan. That little detail, just something about that looks really good, especially in this collaboration. This was a pair of regular OG Jordans. I would have had an issue with that, but because these are not an original color or original colorway, I'm cool with that little small swoosh. I think I like that a lot. These also have reflective material underneath the netting on the lateral, medial side, and also around the toe box, which is something I didn't know when I got the shoe in hand until watching some videos online, and I saw that it does have reflective materials there, so that is pretty cool. These do come with an extra pair of white laces, which in my opinion, I think it looks best with these because it just gives it some contrast and you don't have a mostly red sneaker, so I think the white laces definitely look better on this pair. On the front of the tongue, staying classic to a Retro 4, you have the Jumpman Flight branding there on the front. The tongue on these is actually thicker than a regular Retro 4. Nigel Sylvester is a BMX professional rider. On the back of the shoe, you do have the Bike Air instead of Nike Air, again paying homage, and again as far as the collaboration, so that just makes sense. That's becoming the associated with Nigel as far as his branding with his collaborations with Jordan. On the insole, you have the word Go, which is Nigel Sylvester's brand. Towards the back of the midsole, you do have some white there, again just to provide some contrast to the shoe. Flipping the shoe over to the outsole, classic Retro 4 outsole here, of course. Here they actually went with the regular Nike branding. I think it would have been cool if they would actually replace that with the bike and the Nike swoosh there, but they decided to keep it traditional with the Nike brand. One thing that I did notice, I put on a regular pair of Retro 4 OGs, and obviously the main thing that I realized right away was that the tongue is thicker. I mentioned that already, but on the inside part, I mean, having a regular Retro 4 and these on at the same time, I really didn't notice a huge difference. Of course, it's one of those things that, with a Retro 4, at least for me, it does tend to bother my pinky toes. So with these, one thing that you'll notice is the inside does feel like it's a little bit softer than a regular Retro 4. I wouldn't say that it's more padded, but the material does feel a little bit softer. So I wonder if that's gonna help with the overall comfort with these. If you put these on, with your socks, you're really not gonna be able to notice it, but if you stick your hand in there and you feel around, you're gonna notice that the material does feel just a little bit softer compared to a regular Retro 4. Definitely recommend these guys. I know the resale price is definitely getting pricey. I believe it's like $450 for like a size 10, for example, but the materials and craftsmanship, everything is really good. So mad props to Nike and Jordan and Nigel for coming up with this idea. Really good stuff here. Again, might be sneaker of the year in my opinion. I know it's early, but we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. Overall, these are really good. So that's it for me, guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video and got a detailed look of the Retro 1 Black Toe Reimagined and the Air Jordan 4 in collaboration with Nigel Sylvester. And like always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed yet, please feel free to do so. Like the video, comment below. Also follow me on Instagram at Guy and Kicks. That's it, guys. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.